Good morning, Spartans. Welcome to Monday. What's up, Ops guy? Happy Monday, sir. Hopefully, you had a great weekend. Hopefully, the brisket came out good. Oh, ready for a good week. Let's see what we got going on this morning. Of course, I have not looked at anything this morning. Overnight gap up there on SPY, Nvidia, AMD, Tesla, IWM. Looks like we all gapped up from that transitional period from after hours to pre-market. Apple did come back and retest that high on Friday, like we were talking about. Yeah, I was just looking at that. Definitely pulling back this morning on Intel. Looks like it's got room back to this 3374 resistance or support, excuse me. Whichever one you want to call it. All right, let me jump in and get the private group up and running with their morning post. Then I'll be back, guys. If you need anything or want me to take a look at anything, in the meantime, please post up there in chat. And of course, as soon as I get back, we can take a look at that and go over everything. And then get our SPY and IWM charts ready for this morning. All right. Dr. Pepper party ribs. Okay, that's what you did this weekend. That sounds pretty good. So I'm from the South, and cheerwine is big down here. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I know it's not everywhere in the country, but cheerwine barbecue sauce is pretty big down here. It's pretty good. But yeah, I'm a Dr. Pepper fan. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I like it. Have you ever heard of cheerwine? Dude, it's amazing. Uh, I do like sodas, but cheerwine is like a cherry kind of, but it's sweet. It's actually red, like a dark red, almost black. And oh, it on a hot summer day, it beats out Dr. Pepper, Coke, Sprite, all of them. And if you can find it on a fountain, which is tough, like you know the fountain thingies, Cheerwine is by far the best. My dog used to chase people on a bike a lot. It got so bad I had to take his bike away. That one's kind of dumb. Won't, won't. Dad jokes are starting to. All right, sorry about that. No clue what happened. No. Give me 30 seconds. When it does that, it kills some of my settings. I don't know why it's been so annoying. All right, let's jump in and take care of some charting real quick, guys. Here's SPY. We pushed, like I said, here we gapped up from after hours to pre-market. Not sure what that's all about, but we're gonna do good this week. Magic 8 Ball. The heavens port to yes something. So hell yeah, it's gonna be a stake week all week long, no exceptions. So anyway, we gapped up to this at the time resistance, now becomes support. Looks like we may want to test that 667.35, which is all-time high. But we're going to base here, hopefully, on this 664.63 support. Carryover is going to be our opening range from Friday. Opening range high Friday. That's our carryover. Everything else minus green can go. Set that. All right. Session high. Session low. 665.80. Pre-market. And pre-market and done there on SPY. Now same thing, IWM. Really same pattern, same setup. This one is a little close. I'm just going to run it close because, like I said the other day, I don't like to double up on our green lines because there's support and resistance. So I'm just going to do that, which is going to give me just a zone per se. Friday's session pretty tight. 39, 34 to 41, 71. So what is that? Roughly a 2-point spread. 57 to 62, 4 point, 4.5 point. Nice. I'm gonna run and do something real quick. I'll be right back. But of course, I'll leave uh, the charts up and running. So. Shake it twice. Oh gosh, kill me, kill me. No, I don't know. My dang dog started getting sick yesterday and came home to a mess last night and cleaned his bed and everything. And well, kind of. It was late, so I just was like, I'll deal with it tomorrow. So I put down some towels and stuff for him to have some big fluffy beach towels, so he, have a bed to sleep on. And dang, if he didn't throw up all over that this morning, I had to go swap the laundry over. It was done. I just had to put it in the dryer. So, so with that being said, y'all don't let me forget. I need to wash his bed. Don't totally forget. All right, real quick. Now we can talk about that after Bell. Um, not a lot going on really. Oh man. Oh, all right. Let's get set up here. What do we want to watch, guys? Anything? Oh, look at Carnival. X OKLO. Okay. OKLO. Not bad. Just want to give it some time to see what it wants to do after Bell. Um, it's definitely pushing back up, but it's had some resistance around this 121, 122 range. Might see some profit takers. You're up over 7.26% in pre-market. So, and you're coming into that 120, 121 support. So be careful there. Small little gap down on SPY. SPY looking like it's wanting to drop. Please make sure you take a few seconds to check your account status to know what you can cannot get into, know what's settled from last week, so on and so forth. PayPal gapped up as well. All right, guys, here we go. We are live, and let's see how this week goes. Sorry, setting. No, you wouldn't. OBS acts up. It wrecks everything. Look at NVIDIA right off the bell. Jeez. Let me go back and look. Horrible. Full transparency. I do like this price action early on with Carnival. Was just looking at it, but the spreads are just horrendous. Could be because we're early on in the market on a Monday, but but we quickly retrace that that push up we seen right off of Bell. Like I said, I just don't like the spread. PayPal is moving. Five minutes in, guys. Seeing some movement, which expected. Don't know if we want to go to the upside or downside yet. So until back down to support. Looks like IWM back to that opening or session high from Friday. Nvidia, Tesla may be losing a bit of its support. Now it's back to our carryover, which was our opening range high from Friday. So IWM looking more to the downside. Chips are we're trying to push. They may make new high a day here. And Google trying to push back up. Apple trying to turn a little bit. Big pop there back on SPY. Back to VWAP. Actually over VWAP a little bit it looks like. Which that open morning sweep is about up. We're only 13 minutes in. we hold this momentum any longer here. Like, and Nvidia is trying to test that all-time high. But anyway, if we hold this momentum, we could definitely push pretty hard here on that spot. Google new high of day there. AMD just solid push off of that support. 15 minutes in now, guys. And we PT'd on our first trade there in the private group. If you guys followed along, was this one here on PayPal. We got it right after this retest. I honestly was a tad bit early on the buy, and then we dropped down. Kind of got worried, alerted to the group about it, and to watch that retest on the dip. We picked up the peach and the VWAP, and then we pushed back up through and into PT. So if you got it on the dip, like I mentioned in the group, you PT'd before I did, but hey, I still PT. Not the cleanest trade, but it was still 20% at least. And we could fall back and retest this support at 68.25. Still green on the trade for the runners, but definitely some room for consolidation back to the peach, which is roughly 68.38. And if we lose that, then next will be 68.25. Back to that support. To the upside, looks like SPY grabbed resistance 664.63. Talked about that in the pre-market. And Google and AMD is just off to the races. Don't know where they're going. They're just pushing. And I have not looked at calls on either one of those, but I bet premiums are through the roof, especially on AMD. Yeah, so 165 would be the next one on AMD. You're trading at 253. Google next one, yeah, right on the money. 250, 250, trading at 252. So a little over $250 per contract, right at the money on both AMD and Google. So good luck if you got deep pockets. Those big pushes, I don't know if I would play in those, but they could definitely play for you. I mean, you've got till the weekend. So that was a solid bounce. That SPY breaks and pushes here. This is a key level. We've got this red and gold line here that's in this zone. The VWAP is turned up, the peach is turned up. If we break this a little bit, we'll have a little bit in this area, 665.02. And then after that, it's up to pre-market high. So you do have, like I said, AMD, Google, NVIDIA, not NVIDIA, sorry, AMD, Google, Apple, all pushing, which is going to help this SPY. You got NVIDIA trying to come down. PayPal just kind of, like I said, it consolidated, but these two are kind of iffy. Tesla's not helping. So that's why we're kind of getting that little bit of inconsistency on SPY. But remember, SPY makes up so much, or is made up by so much of the market. You've got to look at the big picture when trading SPY. So just because we're seeing a lot of green does not mean that this SPY is going to be green as well. As you can tell, it's starting to pull back some. While we got a few minutes, guys, if you're new here, please make sure you give us a follow on Twitch. We do this every day the market's open, and our goal is to help you become a profitable options trader. We're here to help any way we can, and feel like we do pretty decent. Hey, look, Tesla key level. Watch that breakdown. We feel like we do pretty good. QQQ. I would imagine Qs are setting up the same as IWM and SPY to the downside. I'll take a look. So if you would, it's free to follow. So just hit that follow button for me, and we'll go from there. So a little bit of a different chart, a little bit more exaggerated. I figured we'd follow the IWM a little bit more, but it's starting to drop back. I was wondering why you guys never do QQ. We do. I mean, it's just another ETF. Nothing against it. I follow it. I've got it on my chart. QQQ and TQQQ. But it's just another ETF. I just personally like IWM and SPY better. But there's nothing against the Qs either. So. But if you want, I will. Yeah, not as much as we used to. We used to do quite a bit of it. But I don't know. ETFs are tricky as is, with their zero DTE setups, and like I was just talking about with SPY, how it encompasses so much of the market that I personally barbecue. Dad joke. That I mean, it's just another ETF, and ETFs are harder to trade. That's really it. Yeah, exactly. Spy trying that resistance yet again. 10 more minutes, give or take, and we will set our opening range. Apple trying to drop back as well. Oh, sleepy. All right, so Apple, Google, the chips, Tesla, all starting to show more of a pullback. You want to look, IWM and the Qs are as well. So this SPY could come back and retest this VWAP. Big red there off of that support level on Tesla TSLL. If just a little pro tip, if you guys trade Tesla or TSLL, I would definitely run both charts like I do here. If you're in Tesla, TSLL is coming into the support resistance. It's something to kind of carry over. Um, they just mirror each other. Push again. We did a lot of chop this morning. More than I figured we would. The 664.63. If we can break that with confirmation to the upside, um, I feel like we could push pretty good. I mean, we came up, tested it here, dropped back. Came up, tested it here, dropped back. Came up, tested it here, dropped back. So that's 3 zones or 3 times we tried to test that support. And Trying to squeeze in that direction. Still a little early. Whoa. Get out of it. Sorry about that, guys. There's that little trying to push over that level up there on Spy. So it's kind of that squeeze I was just talking about. Just visually represented by that trend line. But see, this is what I'm talking about. You got Apple and Google, Nvidia, Tesla, all dropping back, which is some of your bigger players in SPY, but SPY trying to push. If we break this trend line, VWAP just took a downturn. If we break this to the downside with confirmation, then we should be good. But it's has been trying to squeeze into this green or that resistance. And just like anything else, if something tries to squeeze, it's eventually going to pop. You put enough pressure on it, and that's kind of what this trend line is doing into that resistance level. You're still in that PayPal. It pushed again, so just be careful. Mm. So basically, what this candle did just opened up our trend a little bit better. Where's that brig? This is the 1 minute, this is the 2 minute, so not a whole lot of time difference. This is the 5 minute. You can kind of see it here on the 5 minute as well. I was just taking a closer, little tighter look at it, so that's why we had the 5 minute. We drop back to the 100 tick, and then you lose it though. Right now, the daily trading range on SPY is just over 4.5 at 4.68. So far this morning, we've been in a pretty tight range. There's the high 664.84 to 663.73. So what is that? Just over a point? So SPY's definitely got some room to move. Not saying that it will. I still feel once we get confirmation and these indicators turn down, we've got room to the downside to here. 662.39 is our session high from Friday, and if we're trading here to here, that's what 2.5 point plus this other. So I mean we've got some room as far as the daily spread goes on SPY to move. Now we just need SPY to make those moves. But we're 36 minutes in, so let's go ahead and set up our opening range. And what we were just talking about. Our session high. That's it. Half asleep. Sorry, guys. Opening range. And then we'll do the same thing here on IWM. And there was a big green bounce there, wasn't it? That VWAP. All right. So we popped over our resistance Resistance now flops to support. Came back, retested. Here, held, and that's where we see that push. So be careful. 665.80 could be next on SPY. Yeah, just like I said earlier, AMD's expensive, so just be careful. But I do still feel like AMD has more to the upside. We are holding this 162.44 support so far, but just definitely be careful with that one. SPY just doesn't want to find a good direction. Now we're coming back down on SPY. Walmart. PayPal touched 111. On our bigger tickers that we watch, like SPY, we could set up to be range bound today. We're just not getting the movement that we need to. I mean, I know we're only 45 minutes in, but so far it's been quite choppy. We were looking at the spreads earlier on Carnival. It came back in within a manageable range, but now the movement's already over. Meta looks like it's range bound. Microsoft pushed a little bit. Meta and Microsoft both definitely not cheap. Baba over on new all-time highs, but it's trying to pull back. There goes SPY. See what it does here on this VWAP. we go with that VWAP retest. Trying to break it now. Once again, we just trying to push back up off of it. Hopefully we grab this peach line and push more to the downside for some further drop. Just consolidating back now. Overall, the market doesn't really know exactly what it wants to do. We're still within this range. Sorry, guys. No clue what's going on again. I don't know why it keeps happening. But it's quite annoying. I'm sorry about that. It's just OBS being stupid. And just right along with Spy being stupid. X, you said hood. Let me check out hood. Careful with it going in that all-time high. Hood would have been nice if we caught it early this morning. But right now, I wouldn't play it going into this all-time high level. That would worry me a bit. But we can see if we get a rejection off of it. Last time we hit all-time high, actually right at the same. We've seen a pretty big drop. Yeah, do that for me, Chris. I don't know. I mean, everything seems to be fine, and then just I lose connection with OBS, but it's like everything internet related just kind of stops. So I don't know if it's an OBS issue or if my internet's just dropping out for a brief second, which when you lose internet and it's got to reconnect that quick little, if that's what's kicking me, I don't know. But I'm not getting a notification on my computer where Really? Okay. Because I know when I get the notification that I've been disconnected from OBS, I jump on Twitch and look, and it shows that I'm off. But you guys seem to be coming right back. I don't know. Looking 180 on Bama. We just broke new high on that hood. I do like Baba as well to the upside. Um, just be careful with Baba. Baba's expensive. That 180 is trading at 350 right now. So for us in the private group, we won't play it just because it's so expensive. But Baba has this VWAP, which I would be concerned about at 179.61. But I would, dang, that hood's expensive too. 131 on the hood is 335, and 130 put on hood is 350. Premiums in the market's just getting stupid here recently. I don't know if anybody else is noticing that other than me, but it's just like talking about inflation and all this dang hitting the premiums too. Yeah, remember that, Chris? Like years ago, we were trading and stuff was super cheap, and now it's like, oh, this is going to be cheap, and you look at it and it's dang on $500. I might be able to as well. Um, but yeah, stupid cheap. See, yeah, I can go back to some of our old stuff here, Chris. Let's see. Today is September 29th. Uh, how about this? September 29th, 2022. I pulled it up right here, Chris. We alerted that day. We played Apple. You know what we were trading? We traded the 140p on Apple for $94. We also took a trade on Spy. We played the 349p at $52. Oh, dang. Get this one. We played a call on Netflix that day. Dang it. Hey, let me know when you're back. You back, Chris? All right. Did you hear what I was saying? I pulled up September 29th, so 2022. So 3 years ago today, this was our alerts. We played Apple 140p at $94. We played Spy 349p at $52. And then we played a Netflix call, a 255 call for 155 bucks. Can you believe that crap? Yesterday we played a Meta at 143C for 190. Was the last alert at the end of the day. And Tesla, we played a 290 call. Jeez, Meta, we played Meta 143 call at $47. That was at 9:33. What was that? 140, yeah, 143 call on Meta at 47. End of the day, it ran to 190. And that was 3 years ago. Let me see if I can go back to 4 years. I cannot go back 4 years. God, can you remember that? Imagine trading a Meta today for 47 bucks. You would have to go so far out of the freaking money. Um, Meta call right now. So Meta's trading at 746.62. The next call is 747.50. So that call right now is trading at $910. 3 years ago, we played a right outside the money call for 47 bucks on Meta. Now it's 910. Tell you, inflation. Inflation's everywhere. It's not only just at McDonald's, it's damn all over the market as well. That is stupid. No, not at all. And back then we could soak up the movement and things like that. If stuff were choppy, it was no big deal. But back then we were getting 10-point movements on Spy a day. But just then it was showing Tesla at 290, I think is what it said. I think you were with me before Tesla split and we were trading it, 500-600 bucks, and then we traded it all the way up to $1,200. But still, it wasn't. It wasn't. I don't think as pricey it is now at 444. Uh, we used to do a lot of Tesla back in the day. Good trade there on PayPal though. Wow. But I was looking in September 29th, 2022, so 3 years ago to the day. I have to look. I don't think I can go any further back than that. Yeah, some of them. Just the dollar amounts and stuff is what blows my mind. Yeah, I don't think I can go back further than beginning of 22. we're just kind of range bound today, guys. Apple's starting to drop back a little bit, but not out of its range. Kind of same with Google. Google a little bit further out of range, but Tesla looks like it's trying to lose its level. But this PayPal trying for that 7016, which would be nice. I guess AMD was still kind of high back then. I was watching a video recently and AMD was under 2 in the background. Was that our alerts that or whatever? I should be able to search AMD. Let me see option. The oldest option I have on AMD, yeah, you're right, was a 71p that we played on December 6th, 22. 71p, I alerted now at 228. December, looks like we bought it at 119. It ran to 228 that day. Uh, Furthest I can go back, searching AMD was June 17th of 21. I'm showing we did an 82 call on AMD at 37, and I put Lotto on news. I don't know what the news was. Then it ran to 113. Then I said I'm up 186% on AMD, looking to secure profits anytime now. Huh. So 186% trade on AMD that day. Oh, wow. Yeah, you're further back than I am. Hey, there's that pop to support there on that PayPal. See, that's as far back as I could go. Would be 2021 in the group. I know sometime around then we also changed the name, and Mitch moved that over. And I don't know if he canceled the old one or what, or deleted it. So I don't remember. That was a long time ago. Spy looking to push. Oh, looks like it's gaining some momentum this time. But it looks like we're going to break that resistance level on PayPal. Channel created June 9th, 2021. The funny thing is, last time we posted in there was uh, February 28th of 23, Chris, that I'm showing. And I'm still showing there's 31 subscribers to that group. I'll show you as a subscriber. Fine. Spy looks like it's not going to have anything to do with that as of right now. Ejected. Could squeeze into that. This is going to be that new high data level. Hey, no worries. Thanks for coming by, Chris. I will definitely chat with you in the private group. There's 200 on that. Hmm. Well, if you can't, I understand, man. Do what you can. You know, I always appreciate it. But yeah, we'll chat in the group, of course. Yeah, good movement now off of that support. I'm gonna put PayPal here on the main chart. If I even have anything, we could be new high. No, 52 is going to be 93.66. Trading at 70.90 was that last pop. So 71.87 is what I'm showing for next resistance there on. Are we going to get that high? Oh no. 71.87. That's going to be a big push. All right, let's do another dad joke here. What is the tallest building in the world? The library. It's got the most stories. That's very true. That's very true. Kind of dumb, but hey. Oh gosh. Man, this weekend I rolled my ankle on Saturday. That junk is killing me. Just age. Yeah, that's definitely true. I remember being a kid, you roll your ankle, you just keep going. Now, I rolled my ankle, it looks like a dang baseball and purple. When I did it too, I didn't think it hurt that. I mean, it hurt, but I didn't think much of it. And I was a couple hours from home, and I started driving home, and I'm like, man, this sucks. It hurts. And then yesterday was not fun. Hmm. Tylenol and a whiskey. But I'm no doctor. I did take some Tylenol this morning, and it was a little too early for day drinking. But I could. Do you think my trading would be better? We'd be all over the place if if I had been drinking. Looks like we're starting to get some momentum on PayPal. Not PayPal. Excuse me. Spy, Google, Tesla a little bit. IWM dropping back. No drinking and trading is dangerous. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I definitely would not. I've traded with some guys that drink while they trade. Also, I know we were talking about the older groups and stuff. We used to have one member. Didn't matter what time of year it was, he would blare Christmas music. And I mean, we could be trading in June, and he would just be blaring the Christmas music. And I was like, his name was Don, and we ended up calling him Santa in the group, just because he every morning before bell he'd turn on his Christmas music, and I'm like, dude, for real. But I mean, hey, that's what he did. He said it allows him to trade better. We had another trader. He used to watch. I think it was on HBO Ballers or something. I've never seen it, but he said every morning when he trades, he had to turn that on, or he'd have a bad day. Oh, goodness. Big rejection off PayPal. Be careful. Why I was saying don't get greedy with that one. We could see a reversal about any time. Looks like we didn't get good momentum or good follow through on that pullback thing. Definitely wish the spreads were tighter there. Vanek Gold Miners ETF. Daily looks solid. Gold Miners ETF. I guess this is ETF for gold. Dude, get the hell. Gotcha. Okay. Precious metals, gold and silver. With gold and silver pushing off of this dip, might not be a bad trade. I got an alert a few minutes ago that gold 52 week, 52 week high here on GDX. I'm showing it 76.87, which would be what we hit here in pre market. So you're going to be pushing into new highs. Calls would be 76.5, 117. Spread's not bad. So I would look at doing long term on it or a longer swing on it, but PayPal back to the support 7016. SPY looking to test VWAP once again. Sorry about that, guys. Had to sneeze. Luckily, I muted the mic this time. Typically, that don't happen. Oh gosh. Well, looking like it's wanting to break this VWAP. If we break that VWAP, we could test that opening range 663.74. We just touched that opening range. Google breaking down, Nvidia trying to turn down, AMD trying to turn down, Intel turning down, IWM turning down. So Walmart trying to turn down. So we could see a downturn here, guys. SPY could get some momentum to the downside. until caught a little bit of support there off that gold line. And there goes that break on SPY. See if we can get some momentum here on this to the downside, which would be nice. Now we're retesting. We just need to reject that retest. Remember, anytime we break one of these lines, you always want to look for the retest. Don't let FOMO hit you, man. FOMO can get you in trouble quicker than anything. If you miss some of these and you didn't get in, don't have FOMO and chase. It's not worth it. You've been around long enough, Frog, to know that we do this every day. So if you miss today, tomorrow's a new day, bud. Tomorrow is a new day, new chance. And there was that retest on that level. Looks like we rejected back down. Be careful if you're in this SPY or you're paying attention to it. We do have room for consolidation from here to here. You missed the SPY. It's all right, man. Like I said, no worries. We will do it again tomorrow. Oh man. IWM dropping. This area here on IWM is going to be really tough. But we are seeing some buyers stepping in on Google, back on PayPal, some here on Tesla, Intel, since we still got that up. So be careful if you're in anything. We could see a little bit of a reversal here. Big push there on SPY. It's kind of what I was saying. Looks like we rejected back up to VWAP. Looks like we may hold VWAP, so we could go back to what I was saying. We could squeeze to the downside here on SPY. Not too overly concerned about this, is because that was the um, consolidation we were looking for. See if we can build some momentum here to the downside. So we had that consolidation that I was looking for. We're back under this opening range low, 663.74. Snow puts. I would imagine snow's expensive. We used to play a lot of snow too. Yeah, it looks like we bounced off a new high, gaining momentum. I do like snow puts for a scalp. At least back to low of day, possibly. It'd be a quick scalp because you're really starting to build some support right in this area. But expensive is my problem. I should lend you some money. You're the one trying to play these expensive ass options today. Uh, yeah, and spread's a little high too. The 225p is trading 350. The bid's 330. So you're $20 spread right off the bat. Gosh. And that's expensive. I'd probably stay away from it, but that's just me. All right. This peach line on SPY is now through that opening range. Looking for SPY to retest new low of day. I know sometimes we have these slow grinding trades, and I don't like them, to be honest with you. There's a push into that zone we were watching on IWM. Okay, here we go. SPY coming into that new low of day, which we could gain some support. See if we can squeeze into that. We can kill that. It's already played out. Come in here. Kind of grab a quick little reference line. Okay, we just broke new low of day there on SPY, and now see if we can hold that level. And double check one thing. And yes, we just PT'd on a trade. That took a bit, but hey, as it has to. 64p. There we go. Now see if we can retest that. Try to push back up, see if we can hold this peach. Once again, that's that consolidation room. Sorry about that, guys. Just had a quick little phone call, but just kind of watching this squeeze still happening here on Spy. It's wanting to hold, but everything else is just kind of bouncing around. Not a whole lot going on. If we get a drop now. Slowly wanting to consolidate down. So there's that break to the downside, new low day on SPY. See if theta can catch up, being a 0 DTE. Yep, there's that push, and now it's pushing that SPY higher. Now, once again, watch for that consolidation back. This peach line is the key. We want to see that continue the downtrend. Our movements today are a lot slower than typical. All right, guys. Probably going to start wrapping things up. Um, took three trades, three trades today in the private group. Um, two PT that we alerted here to you guys. One still pending. It's slowly dropping, but it's Friday expiration. Not too worried about it. It was a lotto. We're down a few bucks on it, but everything else we're up quite a bit. Especially as you can see here on this SPY that we're watching. And then that PayPal, we had this tremendous uptrend this morning that we took. Nicholas in the private group, he took two swing trades. I honestly was busy, didn't get a chance to look at those, but knowing him, those are probably up too. So, anyway, I appreciate it, guys. If you would, just make sure you follow. Thank you guys for being here, hanging out with me. And yeah, if there's anything we can do for you, please let us know. We'll be here every day doing this when the market's open that we can be. So I appreciate it, guys. Have a great afternoon. Be careful in this chop. But like I said, the market's slowly trying to grind down. But in all, just be careful. Make sure you follow the rules. Make sure you're taking PT and protect yourself from the downside. So anyway, have a great day, X. I'll see you in the private group. If you need anything, buddy, let me know. All right, have a good one. Bye, guys.